Hi, I'm Larry Dickey, Bowen Technique Training. Thank you for completing the basic Bowen Fundamental Workshop. This is a tutor and a reminder to help critique your moves, your procedures, along with your manual. So as we move through this video, take your time, practice it, and you will conquer this procedure. Go straight across. Challenge the muscle, let it soften, and drop your wrist, make the move. 3 and 4 are going to come down on the top of the glute. Let your hand fall with the thumb right into the pocket. Take the slack down, let it soften. On their exhale, just lift your wrist and make that move. You're going to walk around to the other side. Going to come up and find the top of the iliac crest. That'll fall right into the little pocket there. Have your thumbs together. Take your slack down towards the trochanter. Let that soften. On their exhale, just make that move. Let that process for 2 minutes. Okay. 5 and 6, you're going to put your hand under the kneecap. You're going to find a little pocket. You're going to put your thumb in. If you have trouble finding the thumb, just have them lift their leg up a little bit, and that tendon will pop up right underneath your thumb. You're going to take your hand, place that right beneath the ischial tuberosity to stabilize that hamstring. You're going to take the slack down, let it soften, move up. You're going to come halfway between the thigh, right on the IT band. You're going to have your thumbs together, take the slack down, make the move across. You're going to walk around and do the other side. 2, you're going to find the inferior angle of the scapula, draw a straight line across. You're going to move 1 inch down. You're going to take the slack out, let it soften. On their exhale, you're just going to lift your wrist and make that move across. You're going to come straight across, challenge, let it soften. On their exhale, you're going to drop your wrist and make the move. You're going to move up 1 inch above the imaginary line. You're going to take the slack out, let it soften. On their exhale, make that move across. Come across with your index fingers. Take the slack out. Let it soften. On their exhale, make the move. Next, you're going to find their teres minor and their lats. You're going to come in on their fingertips underneath their shoulder blades. Take the slack up and under. Move up. Now there's an alternative to this. You can just have your hands like so, take the slack down, move up, and complete on the other side. Wait 2 minutes. Then you're going to come up at the top of the superior angle of the scapula. Just drop your thumb right in there. Find the levator scapula. You're going to take your index finger, follow that around in a big semicircle. Get as much fascia as you can. You can do that a couple times. Loosen that fascia up. Lighten up the thumb. Take the slack down. Bring the thumb back down. Angle it at a 45-degree angle. Remove this hand. And move across the levator scapula. And repeat on the other side. Hamstring, part 1. I'm going to lift the leg. I'm going to put my elbow in, and you're going to find the attachments of the hamstrings. You're going to take the slack out, move in, and you can move back. Work it both ways. You're going to drop your thumb right into the popliteal fossa. Bring the leg up, take the thumb out, make a move right across the popliteus. Bring the leg straight up, grab the ankle, put your hand on top of the foot, move the foot around, loosen all those little ankle bones there. Pump it a few times. Feel for range of motion, feel for the tissue to soften. Find the spot right here. You're going to take it and drive your fist straight through. And that's the end of the first part of the hamstrings. Please complete on the other side. Part 2 of the hamstring / knee moves. You're going to come over. You're going to put your fingers on top of the patella, move it up and down and sideways just to loosen that up. Feel for restriction. You're going to take your inferior thumb and place it on top of the superior thumb. Then move the superior thumb up. Take the slack down. Challenge. Make the move. Then you're going to come down with the little dimples below the knees, the eyes of the knees. You're going to take the slack up, down, slack up, down. Then you're going to bend the knee. You're going to place your hand right on the inferior part of the knee. Drop your middle finger right there. There's a little divot there at your vastus medialis. You're going to take your middle finger of your right hand, take the slack down, and come across. Then you're going to reach around right above the ischial tuberosities. You're going to take the slack, move, slack, move, slack, move, slack, move. You're going to come around, stabilize the ankle. You're going to use your index fingers as a spacer behind the knee. The slack's going to be out this way and then moves this way, going across the gastrocnemius. Take the slack, pin that down to keep the elbow up, make the move across. Complete on the other side, and that's the end of the hamstrings 1 and 2. Next, we're going to do the calves, which is part of the knee and the hamstring procedures. You're going to lift the leg up. You're going to reach around. You're going to slack, move, slack, move, slack, move, slack, move, slack, move. You can do this several times. This is a light procedure to increase lymphatic flow and find restrictions and adhesions in the calf. Once you get down to the Achilles tendon, there's a series of 3 plucks. 1, 2, 3. Lower the leg and complete on the other side and wait 2 minutes. Down to the Achilles tendon, take your middle finger, take the slack in and make little lateral or medial moves across the Achilles tendon. Complete on the other side, lower the leg and wait 2 minutes. After 2 minutes, you're going to close the calf off. Close, close, close. Then we're going to hit the tibial nerve. We're going to find the medial malleolus, take the index finger to the top, do it at an angle, move it to a 45-degree angle, take the slack down, up and under, and make a little plucky move. Complete on the other side and wait 2 minutes. Next, we're going to do the ankle move. I'm going to sit on the edge of the table with her leg rested on my thigh. We're going to come across here, top of the aponeurosum, take the slack out, move across. Going to find her lateral medialis, take the slack down, move back, put your thumb right into this little pocket on the medial aspect, making a little arch. Keep your elbow up, move the ankle around, loosen up those ankle bones. You'll feel sometimes they'll start adjusting. Then you're going to pump it a few times, take all the slack out, make a nice little wedge here, and on their exhale, make the move. Complete on the other side and wait 2 to 5 minutes. Next, we're going to do the close off of the neck. This is the last thing you do during a session. We're going to come down. We're going to find her anterior scalenes, or posterior scalenes. I'm going to have my thumb. I'm going to take the slack down and around. And I'm just going to make the move up and over. Next, we're going to come up on her occiput. We're going to be right, my middle fingers are going to be on their little knot there. I'm going to come down at the bottom of her occiput on her semispinalis. I'm going to take the slack out, move across, slack out, move across. Wait 2 minutes. You're going to come in at C3. You're going to have your middle fingers together. Take the slack up and around and go midline. Take the slack up and around and cross midline. And let them process 2 to 3 minutes. That's the end of the neck move. On moves 3 and 4, you're going to come up here on the occiput. You're going to take the slack out and the move will be in. Slack out, move will be in. Now this is moves 5 and 6. Going to be roughly at C3. Going to take the slack up and around, move midline. Take the slack up and around, move midline. Thank you. 1, 2, 3. Frozen shoulder procedure. I'm going to bring her arm up. I'm going to have it at bust level. I want you to support this arm as if you was cradling a baby. Keep that up. I'm going to come put my hand on top of her shoulder. That'll fit right into the pocket of the posterior deltoid. I'm going to take the slack down, up and under. And when I tell you, just bring your arm over to the other shoulder. And that moved. Just tap. Bring it back to starting position. I'm going to take my index fingers, take the slack down, up and under. Let that soften. Make the move. And complete on the other side. Next, we're going to do the carpal tunnel procedure. I'm going to find the medial border or the outer border of the long head of the bicep. I'm going to take the slack back, move across. I'm going to step around. I'm going to bring her wrist to midline. I'm going to have her wiggle her middle finger. That'll pop right up. I'm going to take the slack down, move up. I'm going to reach around her arm. I'm going to put my index finger right in that pocket there on your ulnar nerve and the tricep. I'm going to take the slack up and under, make the move. I'm going to keep her wrist, I'm going to bring her wrist up. I'm going to take the slack across the aponeurosa. And I'm going to place my thumbs right in that pocket. Take all the slack out. Get that nice and stable. Then I'm going to do a little sideways figure 8. Once you feel those little carpal bones moving, take all the slack out, and then you're going to do a little wedge. Let that process, and do the other arm. Then after 2 minutes, we're going to open, then close the forearms. We're going to just have her have the palms up. We're just going to make nice little lateral moves. After 2 minutes, then we're just going to close it. And complete on the other side, and that would complete the carpal tunnel procedures. Next, we have the kidney procedures. We're going to start down here, just like we did in lesson 1. Find the top of the iliac crest, draw a straight line across. We're going to complete lesson moves 1 and 2 again. Take the slack out, let it soften, lift your wrist, make the move across. Take the slack out, challenge, make the move across. Then we're going to move up an inch, and we're going to do the same move. Slack out, challenge, make the move. Take the slack out, challenge, make the move. Next, we're going to go up another inch, but we're going to change the position. We're going to take the slack in, challenge, move out. Take the slack in, challenge, move out. Then we're going to go back to the normal move. Take the slack out, challenge, move in. Take the slack out, challenge, move in. Then we're going to reverse it. Take the slack inward, challenge, move out. Take the slack in, challenge, move out. Then we're going to end on the normal procedure there. Take the slack out, challenge, move in. Take the slack out, challenge, move in. Wait 2 minutes. After 2 minutes, we're going to come over and lift the leg. She's going to turn her head facing me, and that'll lift up that 12th rib. As that rib lifts up, I'm going to put my index finger right there, and using the pad of my hands, I'm going to take the slack towards me, and on her exhale, I'm going to make the move across. Walk around and complete on the other side and wait 2 minutes. Asthma procedure. We're going to lift the leg up. I'm going to rotate it out towards me. I'm going to have her turn her head towards me also. I'm going to find the top of the scapula. I've got my index fingers right beneath it. I'm going to have her inhale, and on her exhale, I'll take the slack towards the spine, and the move across, and complete on the other side. This is the first part. The pelvic procedure. You're going to come over here and lock in, hit the lat. You're going to wiggle the knee just like you did on the knee move. Bring your inferior thumb up. Replace it and bring the other thumb up. Take the slack down. Challenge. Make the move across. And we're going to bring the leg up. We're going to bring a figure 4. I'm going to go in at an angle. I'm going to take my slack in, up and around the adductor longus and the gracilis. I'm going to straighten her leg out. I'm going to go in there with my other hand. Let that soften up to 20 seconds. Make the move across. You're going to come up to the sartorius. You can't find the sartorius, have raise their leg up. That'll pop right up. You're going to take the slack out. Let it soften. Move across. Next, we're going to hit the psoas and across the inguinal ligament. I'm going to bring the leg, opposite shoulder, knee. I'm going to have my fingers spread. I'm going to go right down underneath that inguinal ligament, right next to the pubic bone. I'm going to lift the leg up. That'll pop right up. On the nice breath, breathe in. And on the exhale, I bring that leg across the other shoulder. That strums right across that inguinal ligament. And the inferior attachments of the psoas, bring the leg straight up and lower. Complete on the other side. Part 2 of the asthma move, I'm going to bring her leg up slightly to soften up the rectus abdominis. I'm going to place my index fingers on her xiphoid process. These are stabilizing point. I'm going to take my thumb. I'm going to go down the mammary line to this point in her rib cage. I'm going to have her breathe in and exhale and relax. I'm going to take the slack up and under and hook in and make the move down. I'm going to come across using my middle finger straight down the mammary line. I'm going to have her inhale and then exhale. I'm going to take the slack up, hook under, and on the exhale, bring it down. Then I'm going to come about an inch below the xiphoid process, move this hand out of the way, have her inhale, and then exhale completely. I'm going to take the slack up, move down. Have them take a nice breath. I'm going to come up on the trachea. I'm going to just move it a few times. I'm going to take the slack up and then move down. That's the end of the asthma move. Let them process 2 minutes. This is an alternative to the pelvic move. For those that can't bend their knee or have hip restrictions, you're going to complete it the same. Hit the lat, bring the leg up. You're going to go in on the adductor area. You can lower that leg. Let that soften up to 20 seconds. On the exhale, make the move. Find a sartorius. Take the slack out. Make the move medial. You're going to bring the leg out, bend the knee. Instead of lifting the leg, you're going to manually do it. Go deep down inside there underneath the inguinal ligament next to the pubic bone, and you're manually going to strum across that. You can do that a couple times. Take both hands, lift the leg up, and then allow that to release. And that would be the end of the pelvic move alternative. 1, 2, 3. Next, we're going to do the pelvic lock, which is the same as the coccyx. I'm going to bring the leg out, bend the knee. I'm going to be halfway between the navel and the belly button, the navel and the inguinal ligament. I'm going to bring the leg up, take the slack down towards the inguinal ligament, take the move back towards the navel, rotate, move out, and then straighten the leg out. Complete on both sides, and that ends the pelvic lock. Next, we're going to lock in the coccyx. We only do it on the side that we treated. So I'm going to bring her leg out at an angle, cross to her other shoulder, bend the knee. I'm going to go halfway between the navel and the inguinal ligament. My hands at an angle. I'm going to take this, bring the leg up, take the slack down, let it soften, bring the move up across the rectus abdominis and the psoas, rotate mildly, and finish the move out without a slide. Bring that knee up and across, straighten the leg out, and let them process 2 minutes. That's the end of the coccyx lock. The coccyx procedure. After you find which side that needs to be worked on, let's say it's going to be the left side, you're going to bring your finger down to the end of the tailbone, move it up just to the apex. You're going to have these holding points. I'm going to bring the leg up and out. I'm going to have her turn her head towards me, and I'm going to take the slack laterally, let it soften, move across. Take your hand away and only do on one side. That's the coccyx move. Next, we're going to do this sacral move. I'm going to reach around him. I'm going to bring my thumb straight down the gluteal crease, right on the edge here. I'm going to take the slack up, move down. I'm going to reach across. I'm going to take the slack towards the trochanter, move across. I'm going to take the slack up, move down, take the slack out, challenge, move across midline. Have them bring their feet together and have them stand up and walk. And that would be the end of the sacral move. Next, we're going to complete the chest drainage moves. I'm going to take the angle of my hand, I'm going to bring down in their armpit, I'm going to take the slack down And then I'm going to have my 2 index fingers together at an angle, take the slack across their pectoral majors, then moves across the midline. Now I'm going to have both fingers together, take the slack out, move straight across. Then I'm going to bring my hand, just uplift a little bit to find that spot. You're going to take the slack inward and it moves outward. That completes the chest drainage move. Please complete on the other side. Next, we're going to do the hay fever procedure. I'm going to find the angle of her mandible, inferior angle of the mandible, halfway between that and her chin. I'm going to place my finger halfway in. I'm going to take the slack up and under and hook under that digastric muscle and make the move back towards the inferior angle. And complete on the other side. I'm going to come back to the trachea, move that around, slack up, move down. I'm going to find the attachment of the sternocleidomastoids, these little indentations here. I'm going to take the slack inward, move out, slack inward, move out. Then I'm going to wrap my hands around her sternocleidomastoids, and it's just a downward drainage motion. Well, you can do that 3 times. You can do any of these moves a couple times during a session. Then I'm going to find the back of her ear. I'm just going to follow the jawline and drain that eustachian tube. And then you will complete on the other side. And that will complete the hay fever procedure. Next, we're going to do the TMJ procedure. I'm going to have them take their index finger and just space between their teeth without biting down. I'm going to find just that little indentation here. I'm going to take the slack towards the nose, moves back. Slack up, move down. Slack towards the nose, move back, slack above towards your head, move down. Then I'm going to go behind her ear. I'm going to take the slack back behind the ear, move down. Slack behind the ear, move down. Then you're going to find the attachment of the temporalis here. You're going to take the slack towards your eye, move back. Slack towards your eye, move back. Have her remove her finger and let this process 5 minutes. And that would complete the TMJ procedure.